fixing my biological clock.
So yeah, like the crazy thing about the Taco Bell situation, I complained, but guess what? It wasn't even my food that was cold.
Yeah.
That was cold. It was my auntie and my mom fries. It was their fries. It was their fries. But I spent the money.
Yeah.
They wasn't gonna say nothing. So I'm like, why am I even tripping? They didn't even want the fries that hot. You know how sometimes we be like, we want them hot, so we know they came out the grease. Like my auntie and my mom, they was like, oh, he's pretty. They smashing them, but I had to catch myself. Yeah. I'm like, and we ate in Taco Bell parking lot. Let me tell you how paranoid my mother was. You about to go in there and say something? I'm like, no. I'm gonna go in here because they didn't put the spork in the bag for my whatever. I had like the rice bowl. I went in there and just got and I was retracing old steps and erasing old steps because I would have went in there and went off. But I did recognize he had a long line. And he told me he was
frustrated.
He wasn't dropping no new fries because he had 20 orders.
Being able to look at that, and that reminds me of a lot. Being able to recognize when somebody's going off on you, that means something's off. Anytime somebody cut me off in traffic or yelling at me, it's not me. It has nothing to do with me. They are going through something, and I'm not adding fuel to the fire. I'm going to be me and protect my peace and protect my energy. I hope one day they find peace or whatever they're going through, they figure it out.
Oh, that moment.
You get to see that.
Those situations will teach you a lot about yourself. You can learn a lot in those moments.
Look at what you did, man. You went in there and you saw that, oh, he has a long line. He's frustrated. It's not even me. Poor guy. And he's sitting like, dang, this is why. And I'm sitting there adding fuel to the fire. I could have potentially added a lot of fuel to the fire.
Come on.
I could have done that. Now that's me.
$29. I was like, I seen a dude depressed.
Yeah.
In Taco Bell.
That's not what we're about life.
You get what I'm saying? We want to uplift and be positive. I could have allowed that. And they got to make the food. They got to,
Yeah.
I don't want nobody playing with my food. I ain't finna argue with nobody that's.
Not my food. Energy is in the food. I don't eat everybody cooking. People always wonder why. I do not eat everybody
We the same.
Cooking. I do not. I'm not touching. If I don't know you or love you or feel some good connection or energy, I'm not eating your food. So if you ever see me and why you're not eating my cookies or anything that I made, if I don't feel it, I'm going to just say no and be okay with that.
No. I'm going to go deeper. You know why I'm not going to really eat the food?
Why's that?
I ain't see you make it.
That too.
And I wasn't there. I ain't get you no seasoning. And I got allergies. I got all type of stuff. You think you could just throw anything in that food and give it to me?
Energy is real. Energy is real.
You understand?
You're using your love and your time and your energy and your peace to make that food. And if it's not good energy or peace, do not give it to me because I'm not putting that in my body.
You can't just be consuming everything, man. People be putting stuff in there that you don't even know you allergic. Like, I just learned my allergies recently. I can't eat lemon.
I'm not looking forward to that.
Every time I go somewhere, you got lemon in that. You got buckwheat in that. Is there peaches in that? I can't eat it. And then my wife got way more than me, so I share a life with her. I eat what she eat, and I don't eat what she can't eat. Like, I'm like that. We don't put it in our house.
I like that. There was something you said. You didn't react. You responded.
Yep.
And with that comes being able to, a tool you can use, pausing. Pausing in the moment and having that inner dialogue. Mm-hmm. And actually listening to that voice and telling yourself how to properly respond so that you don't derail yourself from your energy or derail somebody else's energy or make it worse. Mm-hmm. Or cause a chain reaction in your day. Because people don't realize the littlest thing can mess up a whole day, which can mess up the next day because how you go to bed and how you wake up in the morning. And I have to start changing. I have to start waking up very positive in the morning. Like, okay, let's go. Got to see another day. I am very grateful.
Yes, sir.
Very grateful.
Yes, sir.
Self-educate yourself on that.
Well, for me, I wasn't good at that. Prideful. The ego, crazy.
Ego can be a big enemy.
Last word type of dude.
Yeah.
My way or the highway.
Oh.
It ain't worth it. You talk about energy throughout the day. I'm not allowing one person or one thing to interrupt my happiness and my peace. So, even it don't matter who it is. Like I told you, I'm not finna be nowhere where I'm not celebrated or tolerated. Like, I need to be where the respect is, where the love is, where the good spirit is. And I ultimately need to deliver that myself. So in order for me to get that back, I had to deliver it. And I can ultimately be whoever I want to be. You understand? The mind is crazy. You could do whatever you want to do with your mind. And then your gut feeling, too, is crazy because I use my gut. I'm intentional. Yeah. I'm intentional. Sometimes your brain can fight with your gut because your heart is out of place. You understand what I'm saying? It's
when
a
it's
tangle.
aligned, the spirit speaks.
Yes.
And you can listen to the spirit.
And that's what that pause is, the inner voice.
Yeah, the inner voice.
I wasn't able to do that. And, you know, just being in, like, the behavioral health sector and just learning how to use therapeutic language and, you know, just being in the know, because I didn't know while I'm trying to teach somebody how to not do something or react a certain kind of way. I had to utilize that too. I had to be the doer of the stuff that I was preaching. So now it's like I needed somebody. In that moment, I needed somebody. My mom, they weren't gonna calm me down. They so used to me outbursting.
Yeah.
I had somebody had their hands on me that day, you know, and I think I'm getting more consistent with that. And I learned through error. Like, I made a lot of mistakes of responding wrong, and I always tell myself I'm gonna change. I gotta be different. I can't be doing all this reactive stuff because it don't always lead you to the right space, and you know it ain't healthy for you. So I learned from a lot of unhealthy situations to be on the other side, because I can ultimately be unhealthy too and go with that. Sorry about that.
Yeah, go ahead. How are my reactions affecting the person in front of me? Because you could be damaging someone. So I've learned how to judge that. Like, am I about to deliver this message out of pure reaction and pure fire with some ill intent to affect this person for a long time? What we deliver is compound interest as well. It is. You mess up somebody's day, man. Oh, man. I remember those days when I did that, and I still remember moments that sting to this day, because I had the audacity to mess up somebody's day because I was having a bad day, but I had no knowledge or education, or I wasn't self-aware enough to realize I was messing up somebody's day. I remember that. Oh, man. I remember they looked at me kind of in fear and scared, and I was like, I just did, and it hit, and it never, a lot changed that day once I seen that and recognized it, and I could never apologize because I'm pretty sure I'll never see him again. My everything I was going through in life, trauma, everything, I was just reacting all the time, and I noticed that I really messed up somebody's day. I was like, they're never coming back to the store again because I just did that. And I didn't even mess up their day with words. My energy, my facial expressions, my terribly angry face. I'm looking at somebody because I was waking up in a bad mood, had a bad day, and just going through life. All my trauma, everything just constantly there, right there on the forefront all the time. So it's just constant reaction. My face is just wearing everything. And they got to see that. And I was like, I'm tired. In my mind, I'm like, I'm tired. Y'all need to leave me the F alone.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it, but my face is saying it. And when they saw that, when I turned around, they saw my face. And yeah, man, I can't say regrets, but it's one of those things I constantly think about that moment. It was a mom and her adult son just going there grocery shopping together. And I did that. I single-handedly did that. And that could mess up. I know how that feels for someone to mess up your whole day.
No,
or
for sure.
To go somewhere, get a cup of coffee or something, and somebody's just having a bad day. Are going through a tough time, and they take it out on you, whether it's a facial expression, the language, or how they take care of you. And I did that.
You think that's a learned behavior? Because society is crazy.
I think it's more than a learned behavior. For me, it was a trauma behavior. I was thinking about how hard life. I remember that day. I was thinking about how hard life was and all the vicissitudes that came my way, and I didn't know how to handle it. And on top of that, everything else is happening. trying to go through school. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to work more than a full-time job. I'm trying to work 2 jobs at a time. Trying to go professional in this and doing that. And while else all my trauma is still in the back of my head, not subconsciously, very consciously, just a little back there, and it's all kicking at one time. No self-love or anything. And you imagine all that on somebody's face when they look at you. And turn around, I took it all out on them just by looking at them. And I don't like doing that.
And that's the thing. We are creatures of habit, right? We see things that we ain't supposed to see. We learn them by default. We become things. Mm-hmm. Trauma happens, all of these things. And when you grow up and you recognize that, you gotta be willing to forgive your circumstances and yourself, right? You could break somebody's day, but you can also make somebody's day. I feel like in my life I've made a lot of people's days more than I broke them. And
they'll sting.
You get what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Those learned behaviors, like I say, like I could be any beast. I could be whatever. Like you say, I don't even gotta say nothing. You could just, but like it ain't worth it. Now, like when you grow up, you know when to turn it on and turn it off.
When to turn it. It was so integrated dark side. It was one of my dark sides. It was I in a very healthy way I integrated it. And I know when to use it. I know how to healthily use it too.
Right.
And it's to protect my peace and my energy.
You gotta show up some kind of way,
some type of way.
And